Hello and welcome. This is Anne Vivian. Welcome to Mystical Adventures, where we journey into the creative, mystical, and intuitive realms together. So psyched that you've tuned in. So psyched to do this show tonight. Welcome. Fall is here. Mercury is retrograde. If you are not familiar with astrology, basically, it just means that Mercury has passed us in its orbit and it feels like the Earth is going retrograde. And this can affect us in the areas of communication, travel, technology, memories, and make parts of our lives feel like they're moving a little backwards or slow or have some obstacles. But the positive part of Mercury retrograde is it's great for anything that has to do with anything has to do with a word that begins with the prefix redo, reassess, reinvent, reorganize, reflect. It's a great time for any and all of these. So let's make the best of Mercury retrograde together, shall we? It's not all a disaster. Welcome to Mystical Adventures. I hope you can hear me okay, my lovely viewers and listeners. I'm using an earpiece, as you can see if you're watching the video. If you're just tuning in by audio, I hope you can hear me a little better. We're experimenting with different things because that's how we do here on A1R Psychic Radio. We're always improving, always finding the next best factor that will make the show even more golden for you. And I hope it is a golden mystical adventure for you. I want to share with you the spirit animal that came to me this week for you, my audience. Sometimes I tune in and an angel comes to me, and sometimes I tune in and a spirit animal or some other spiritual entity. So this week I had a spirit animal show up who wanted to provide us hope and guidance for this week. What is a spirit animal, Anne? Well, what is a spirit animal and what is a spirit totem? Well, if you ask different people, you're going to get different answers, but I'm going to give you the answer as I understand it. A spirit animal is the collective consciousness of an animal species here on Earth. And it can provide guidance to you in your life. It can provide guidance to a group. It has an expanded consciousness. An animal totem is associated with your personal spirit guide or the spirit guide, the spirit totems of a tribe. So your family might have a totem. So the spirit animal that has come this week is hippopotamus. All I want for Christmas is a hippopotamus. I believe that's a song from elder years, and I believe it's pretty funny. So check it out. Hippo has come to us. Hippo is a beautiful, divine feminine energy. I think of the Fantasia scene for the Disney movie Fantasia, in which hippos are enacting a ballet scene. Hippo is a beautiful, divine feminine goddess energy, and hippos swim in the rivers. They are known as the river horses. And Hippo is guiding us to trust the waters. You don't need to know everything to flow with it, and flow with the current. Don't flow against it. This will help you to manifest this week. This will help you to create what you want to create. Don't resist. Resisting. She's guiding us to work with the flow of the universe and with nature, which might have a backwards flow this week with Mercury retrograde, in order to make the best use of the energy and resources presenting themselves this week, to remember that you don't have to know everything about the river that you're swimming in order to navigate it. This is very relevant to what I wanted to share with you tonight. So thank you so much, Sacred Hippo. Blessings to you. I wanted to share with you something that happened to me this week and related to trusting And then I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can use our intuition to help us stay connected in these socially isolating times. And I definitely want to save some time for a call or two. That's right, Dave. I said two. So let's start with trusting your intuition. So this week, I was meditating. I meditate every day. And in my meditation, I received guidance that I would be receiving some offers and invitations, and I would receive an offer that was not good for me, that I needed to decline. Naturally, throughout the week, I was worrying a little bit and paying attention, but also trusting and also tolerating not knowing what this intuition meant. And I received a number of different kinds of offers and invitations, as one does. And I wasn't sure which one it was. Lo and behold, at the end of the week, my friend and I went out to dinner, and turns out she is in contact with some of the parties involved regarding one of these offers, and told me about the energy of these parties, which was obviously not a good energy for me to be involved with. It was quite obvious after she told me about this party, and she was apologetic, and she said, "Anne, I'm sorry. I really didn't want to ruin your evening." And I said, "No, you helped me understand which offer this was, and now I know, so I can let it go." And this is what we need to do. I feel like in so many instances when our intuition is presenting itself, we dismiss it. We don't know what it means. We can't see exactly what the river holds. We can't see exactly how this will fall into place. And if we just trust and tolerate the not knowing, we can help acknowledge our intuition, actually help use it, and actually help grow it. Sometimes if you're beginning to use your intuition and you don't know, you're not quite sure the difference between the voice of your intuition and the voice of your, say, anxiety or ego or wishful thinking, it can still be really helpful to acknowledge what you think might be an intuition, record it, and in this way you can do these experiments, and then you can understand after some time unfolds which ones were truly intuitions and which ones were maybe the voice of your ego. And it helps to train your psyche to pick up what a true intuition feels like. So I just wanted to share that, encourage you to trust your intuition even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. And speaking of intuition, I wanted to talk also tonight about how our intuition can help us in these hard times regarding isolation and loneliness. Now, a lot of us are a lot more socially isolated than usual. Most of us are. You might only have a small amount of social isolation compared to life as usual, but I would guess that most everyone on the planet can relate to having some level of decreased social connection. And some are very, very socially isolated. An example might be someone in a nursing home. How are you with the isolation? How are you coping with it? How are you coping with the social distancing? And how are you coping with the changes? I want to suggest a couple of intuitive ways that you can connect with friends and loved ones, even if you can't connect with them in person, or maybe you can connect with them in video chat and phone, but not person. It's still not the same thing as in person, is it? So here's a couple intuitive ways to connect with loved ones. I write about more of these in my blog on my website, which I'll go over at the end, but I'm going to give you a couple tonight. So one way we can connect with loved ones intuitively is through dream time, through the dream world. So send love or healing to someone in the dream time. Set your intention before you go to sleep to send love to your loved one, and better yet, write it down. repeat this intention to yourself as you fall asleep. This is an ancient dream technique. And imagine yourself sending love or healing to your loved one. And in the morning or that week, contact your loved one if you can and ask them how they're doing. Ask them if they've had any interesting dreams. Sometimes you do this and you find out that the person thought of you out of the blue. There's some synchronicity. You can also create a mutual or shared dream with someone. If someone agrees to meet you in the dream world, you both set your intention to meet each other in the dream world. And again, you just repeat your intention to yourself as you fall asleep, imagining connecting with that person in a way that is for the highest good of all. And then you record the dream in the morning, contact your friend or loved one, and compare notes. See if you have any shared experiences, see if there's any synchronicities. I have done this myself and found it to be a really beautiful, mystical way of connecting with friends and loved ones. And you don't have to be in person with them or have any kind of exposure to any kind of danger by using the dream time. The second suggestion I want to give you is to just sit in meditation and hold the person's consciousness in your mind and ask your higher power, God, Spirit, the angels, higher self, the best way to keep the connection with this person. And notice what images and thoughts and ideas come to you. Notice if you get an understanding of a better way to connect with this person or a new way to connect with this person. Maybe you get intuition, I'm going to send them a greeting card, and that might really make their day. Something even small can really, I think it has all of these small little gestures have a big impact. So if you'd like to read the rest of my suggestions, please head over to my website, creativepsychestudio.com. Creative Psyche is spelled creative and then Psyche studio.com. I think it's about time in the show for us to shift gears. And I see that we have a caller, Sienna, in Saskatchewan, Canada. Hi, Sienna.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. We're discussing connecting with loved ones. Do you feel like you're connected with loved ones during this difficult time?
Somewhat, yeah.
It's important, isn't it? Well, Sienna, I am a clairvoyant and I also am a medium. So I would be happy to tune in and give you a reading of the energy around you, a clairvoyant psychic reading, or I'd be happy to tune into the spirits around you, mediumship. Which would you like tonight?
More or less the medium, please.
Okay, so I'll tune in to the spirits around you and see who is coming through. Just
Okay.
give me a moment, if you would, while I tune in, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting a couple of energies. I don't know if this is the same person or different people. I'm getting male energy, and
Yeah.
I'm getting someone who is associated with cars, who either like to travel or work on cars.
I'm not sure. It could be my brother.
Okay. I'm also getting an energy, the intuition that this person was very goal-oriented and very, definitely had things that he wanted to achieve and focused on achieving those goals, that kind of personality.
Yes.
Is that the brother?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And is there something about brother and travel or long distance or cars?
He was 2 provinces away from us.
One more time?
He was 2 provinces away from us.
He lived
So he
two
didn't
provinces
travel.
away from you,
Yes.
which is kind of long distance.
Yeah.
Got it. So let's tune in. Let's tune into, this is brother, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry you lost your brother. Let me tune in to this brother.
Thank you.
I'm feeling a little bit, he wants to express some regret. Like there's something he wanted to get that he didn't get. There's, and I'm getting like a sort of an intellectual energy around him, like learning, education. He wanted to achieve something and he wasn't able to achieve it. Does that make sense?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And can I get just like the first letter of his first name?
Yes, it's a D.
Okay. So it seems, I get the feeling, Sienna, that he really enjoyed himself and he enjoyed life, he wants you to know, while he was here. And he wanted to include you more, but he was a little bit involved with himself, if that makes sense. He wished that it was not just him, that he included you more. Does that make sense?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Does that make sense, Sienna?
Sorry, it cut out a bit. I didn't hear.
Oh, that's okay. I was just saying, I get the feeling that he enjoyed life quite a bit, and he was really like involved in his own sort of his own life, but he wanted to, in a positive way, but he wanted to include you more, and he just wanted us to acknowledge that. And it's like
Yes.
he wasn't, yeah, and he wasn't afraid. It's like he wasn't a shy person. He was good with a crowd, and he was good with, like not schmoozing with people, but he was good at connecting with people and being more outgoing. And um, he's just showing me kind of his personality. So, but he wants you to know he was thinking of you, even if he wasn't reaching out to you while he was here. And I'm tuning into his relationship with you. He wasn't very flowery or sweet. He was more, he'd tell you what he was thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he enjoyed your company quite a bit, Sienna, and I feel like sometimes he wasn't sure, he didn't know how to respond sometimes to you or understand exactly how to connect with your energy. He wasn't really good at like filling in the gaps. So like if you didn't say something, he wasn't able to intuitively understand what like read between the lines. He wants to let you know, but he wanted to understand you, and he wanted not to have these gaps that you seem to have, and he wanted to connect with you and include you more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes full sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm asking him to give you something else so you kind of know more what he wants to give you, so you know it's him. Well, I see a couple things. I see books. I see the car again, so I think he's telling me again about the distance. I see books. There was something with him with books and maybe learning, but I also feel like he's saying he let me try and find the words here. I feel like it's funny because it's like he wants you to know he was good at sort of communicating, being direct, but he wasn't really good at telling you, like giving you permission to come over, if that makes sense. He could tell you things very directly in one way, but he's saying he also struggled with finding the words to let you know that he cared and to be vulnerable and open. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I see a lot of love around you, and I feel, his apology is just so heartfelt that he wants to stay connected with you, and I feel like he's saying, you're never alone, and he's always with you, and he also feels like he connects with you around stairs. He wants to say, is there a staircase maybe that is significant?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying, connect with me, that he's going to connect with you around the staircase, and that's a place where you can feel his spirit. And it feels like he just really appreciates you and appreciates your role in the family. And I feel like your brother is saying, don't worry about it if everybody else in the family doesn't get you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. That he appreciates you and he sees you for the soul that you are. And some of the people in the family, they're not really sure how to react to you or respond to you in your beautiful, unique light, Sienna. And I see you are a person, I feel your energy is very expansive and that you're someone who can see a big perspective here and who also doesn't beat around the bush, but you take more of your time and I feel your brother just acknowledging how much he admires your energy and how he doesn't want you to feel alone because you do feel alone sometimes, and to remind you that you don't have to follow the family pattern, that you can make a space for yourself and not worry about it if not everybody understands your perspective or your own visions and approaches. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel just really beautiful energy around you two. While the spirit of your brother is here, is there something perhaps, Sienna, that you would like to say to him?
Well, when he passed, I actually had a baby, my baby girl, so he never got to meet her.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know that he obviously is here and sees that, but is there anything you sort of came through with that?
Brother and the new baby. Well, of course he wanted to be there and here, Sienna.
Yeah.
I just feel he just so believes in you, Sienna. He feels you are so well equipped to be a mother and that you're going to do things differently than the rest of your family. You're not afraid and you don't have the same, not to be judgmental of your family or I don't know them, but it's almost like you are letting go of some baggage, if that makes sense, of your family, and he wants to recognize that. You're not afraid to be yourself, and you are going to take care of this baby in your own way. You're going to have the support you need, and he's there to support you and the baby spiritually, and you can always call on him and ask him to be around the baby. But he just wants you to know you're not alone, because you're going through a period where that might come up, and he is always with you, and you can always rebuild your support system, okay?
Okay.
Well, Sienna, I really hope that was helpful, my friend.
Yeah, it was. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much for calling. We are coming to the end of the show, so blessings and love to you, Sienna. And I just want to acknowledge, didn't get to that second call, Dave, but thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, to Mystical Adventures. Please visit me on my website to find out more of my services and groups. I hope you have a blessed week, and remember to flow with the current. And I will see you next show. Namaste.